Well, hello again. This is Rob. Welcome back to the channel. This is episode 3 of Produce a Trance Track from start to finish. And you're probably thinking to yourself, well, you know, I watched the first 2 episodes and this isn't the track we were working on. Well, you would be right. But first, a little business to take care of. If you want to stay up to date with this series of videos, hit that subscribe button right now before you forget. And if you like these videos, hit that like button. And hopefully we'll end up with something pretty good here as, you know, we work our way through this producing of the track. Okay, I appreciate that. This is a track that I was working on probably 4 or 5 years ago. Just started playing around different techniques and I came up with, you know, a little ARP. But the thing that I'm focusing on, the reason that I pulled this up is for the vocals. I want to put some type of vocal in the new track. And so let's give these a listen. Now this is produced by Alchemy Synth before Apple bought, I can't remember the name of the company. That's bugging me now. Let's check this out. What's the name of this company? Camel Audio. Okay. Apple bought Camel Audio. And so you can get Alchemy with Logic for free now. It doesn't have, I don't believe it has all these presets, but the original version of Alchemy I paid $249 for, had this sample grouping here of Dream Voices. And I really like the way it sounds. I've used it on another track, and I used it on this track. And I want to import it. I want to use this channel strip setting in the new track. So what I'm going to do is save channel strip setting as, and then it'll pop up. And I'm just going to type in Dream Voices. And there we have it. So I will see you in a few moments back at the track. Okay, so here we are at the current project track. And we left off, we started a little bit on the drums. We enhanced the lead sounds here. And we kind of balanced things out a little bit. And I've done a little housekeeping between the last video and this one. And so what I want to kind of go over real quick is that really a lot of producing a trance track. Oh, by the way, I got a new webcam. So hello everybody. A lot of what goes into producing a trance track is really just getting a really good 8-bar loop. You know, and I know that a lot of you out there have probably heard, well, you don't want to get stuck in 8-bar loop land. But what you do want to do is you want to get stuck into a point where you've got a really good sounding idea in an 8-bar loop. And then you can expand out pretty much completely from that 8-bar loop, believe it or not, and as you will see as we progress. So what I want to do is, where we left off was with the drums, and I'm going to bring the volume down, and let's just take a listen. And I want you to think about what you're hearing, because I have a pretty good idea of what I'm hearing. And so here we go. I'm just going to play it. Okay, and you can actually see it, okay? We've got the these 3 channels, which are the closed hats, shakers, and open hat. And I'm still not really sure if I'm happy with that open hat. We may try a couple alternatives, but I want to get moving here. These are too loud. This group, these hats and shakers are too loud. So let me unsolo these and we'll hear it again. So I'm going to bring them down as a group. That's the importance of monitoring quiet, because things stick out more if they're going to stick out. So that's what I've noticed. So let's take these shakers down a little bit. Wow. I'm going to cut the open hat all the way out. And then shaker out. Let's balance the closed hats now. And bring the shakers in. Okay, and another thing that I did was this open hat reverse. I went ahead and found a different sample, a little bit longer sample, then I copied it over and reversed it, and then kind of lowered the volume on the reversed part. And this is what I came up with here. Whoops. So that's just kind of like a percussive thing that's kind of happening in the background that's kind of shoo. Okay. And if you'll really listen close to a lot of current tracks, they kind of have, there's a lot of tracks with that, a variation of this. So I kind of like, I think it's coming out all right. Okay, so now let's turn this back up, okay? So here we are with... So that open hat isn't really sticking out. It's mixed in okay. We're not really doing a total mix right now, but we want to get things balanced, all right? Okay, so now when I listen to this track, I kind of hear some vocals coming in, okay? But before I get to the vocals, I want to try something here. And let's see here. Let's go. Let's add an audio track. And I was kind of looking around through my splice folder, and I've got some progressive trance loops that I want to kind of take a look at real quick. Maybe we can use a loop or some loops here. So let's get in here to my packs, progressive trance, and I kind of narrowed down already a few that I thought sounded all right here. So we got this one here. Let me turn this on here. Give it a little bit more volume, but not too much. And bring my finder back. Okay, so let's... Okay, that has kind of a spread out sounding clap. And it has kind of like a cymbal pulse. That might work. But before I do that, I want to go up here to my smart tempo settings. And I want to turn it on. Just like this. Alright, that's what you do. So that when I drag something in an audio track, it'll be automatically tempo adjusted, because this is 137. Let's see how this sounds here. Okay, there it goes, analyzing it. And don't show. Usually works out pretty good. I don't have to align the downbeat here. Let's see. let's just listen to just the drums, which isn't a good sign. If you have to turn things down or off to hear something that you just added, it's probably not going to work. But let's listen to what we got here. Well, let's try to... Okay, that's pretty quiet. Well, let's gain this up a little bit. Let's add about 3 dB. Let's see what we get. Just kind of throwing things against the wall, see if they stick here. Okay, that's not really working, but I do like that loop a lot, so I'm glad I marked it. We're just going to get rid of that one, and let's go back to one of the other loops here. What did I have with this one here? Okay, that's just the naked loop pattern. That's just the cymbal pulse. What do we got down here? Okay, we've got some reverse claps and shakers. Let's see what was this? Else was around here. Okay, that was the full loop there. I don't need that clap information. Okay, I'm gonna drag that one in, see what happens. Okay, okay, got the auto name here. We're going. Okay, probably. Okay. I like the way that kind of it plays off against these two here. So let's add this in here. Let's get rid of that. But plays off against the clap, excuse me. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to try is just kind of do a little variation here. Not to get rid of this, except in the middle of each 4 bar. See how that sounds. Okay, now let's try muting these two. Maybe it'll sound better. Okay, so that kind of makes more sense. It kind of sounds like it's completing and repeating. It's kind of resolving and starting over, which is kind of helps the mind follow along. The mind of the listener follow along. Okay, so let's context. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to convert to a sample track. All right, let's see. Okay, here we go right here. Let's see what we got here. I don't want this open. It's way too big. Let's see, what did it give us here? It gave us, what? Okay, so that didn't work for whatever reason. Okay, so let's just get out of that. What I'm seeing a problem with here, so what I might have to do is get the old scissor tool and do a little slicing and dicing here. So that I have each one of the now that's okay. There we go. Yeah, they all came on the beat. All right, what I want to do is this higher sounding unit here, the second one, watch, listen. It's not cutting through the mix. So what I want to do is I want to duplicate. I just make another audio track because there are no effects here. Then I want to select these, the quieter ones, drag them down here. And then I want to gain all of them up. I could have actually done that within the context of that track, but this way I have more control. Okay, so let's call this reverse clap 1, and then okay. And it helps if you hit the right keys. All right, so let's see what we've got now. Okay, too loud, but we've got control now. That is so strange. Oh, no wonder I had this channel turned down 10. Okay. There we go. Right. Just a little bit of adjustment here. Okay. Okay, we got some kind of issue here that we may have to make a slight bit of an adjustment to. I'm going to take this up right next to the claps here and let's zoom in. See what the problema is here. Ah, okay. It's good to have an ear for that kind of stuff. And that develops over time. Let's go to ticks. What I'm doing is this is the snap to grid function, and this is the finest adjustment available, which is ticks, so that I can nudge it up close to the beginning of that where that clap is, like so. That should work. Let's give it a listen. Okay, I think that's going to help that out. Let's put this back down where it belongs. See the workflow technique there. You put things up, line up, then put it back down where it belongs. Okay. All right, so I already know this one's got to go away. Let's see. Otherwise it's just kind of overkill. Okay, let's A-B it here. All right. Okay. All right, so now let's move on to the I'm going to create a instrument track. Okay, so now it's time to open Dream Voices. And there it is. All right, now we get to figure out what we want as far as when I play this back. It's kind of let's see how that translates here. I'm just trying to figure this out here. Let's turn this down here. Let's get this going. Let's get this going. Let's get a some kind of metronome type thing. Shakers, that's always good. And then maybe an offbeat. Turn this up. Okay, so that note that resolves there is A flat. Goes. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so let's just lay something down here. Okay. Okay, so we got a rough chord progression here. It's unusual. I must say it's quite unusual, this chord progression. Oh. Let me... Let's see where we're at here. Okay, so we need to equalize the lengths of these. To equalize the lengths, it's Shift Option and hold down, but you gotta, okay, you've got to pick a new length. Once you do that, then you've got to say, okay, where do you want it? Okay. Can't just say, okay, we got them all the same size. Wow, that worked that time. Okay. There's another key command that is not working right now. Force legato. For some reason, force legato didn't work. I tried it and it kind of looked at me kind of funny. So, all right. But you see what I'm doing here. That's actually the final chord. Okay, so let's get this here. Okay. That's the one that I hear start out. And I hear it again in my mind, I'm talking about. Then this one. Oops. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is get some chords here that translate to a potential breakdown that we're going to build. So what I'm going to do, now that I got those working, well, let's create another. And see if I have another pad sitting here. Active a pad. Let's see how that works here. Okay, that has hella reverb on it. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so in the context of a potential breakdown, so what we would have is all of this. Let's just go like this. We would have all of this. Well, over here. And then we would have only this. Back over here. Whoops. I got to start. Well, now I'm all screwed up here, so. Let's see. I'm going to make these real regions. I have all these stretch outs here. Okay, so what I want to do is sort of drag all this over here. Okay. All right. And then what I want to do is drag this back over here. Be the intro. If we get it taken care of here. Now obviously I'm not going to have that thing repeating like that. Let's bring this over here where it belongs. Okay. Okay. I heard something weird in there, but okay. Okay, so that's as far as I'm going to go today. This is video came out probably super long, probably over an hour or close to it. But what I'm doing here is I'm kind of got the intro. This is obviously what the intro is going to end up being. And so I also want to hear what these chords here sound like. Turn them up a little bit here. Okay, so it's actually quite a unusual chord progression. So I just experiment around to see what kind of fits. You know, it's kind of a dual chord situation in certain situations. They fit together. You know, if you leave certain roots in the same spot and play chords above them, which is basically what this whole track is, and then you get into the breakdown and you kind of calm down and the listener can coalesce everything. Then you kind of guide them along into bam. Here's the breakdown. Here's the drop, okay? That's the whole clue. So I'm kind of seeing what we're going to be working with here. And I'm going to leave it right there. And thank you very much for your patience. And again, hit subscribe and hit that like button and make me happy. And I hope you like the new webcam. Take care.